Copy video Earl. I really should automate this. But it is day 38. And this better not be the fucking Delta or whatever. Alright, let's see here. The conversation in Not Math right now is fucking hilarious. Soy face? A retroflex soy face? One begins to suspect the interlocutor of scissors and gluing morphemes together not at random, but using a sophisticated linguistic comprehension of English that nevertheless takes a random generator as input. That's fucking amazing right there. I'm liking it. God, those people are smart as fuck. All right, what do we got here? And then... Whoa. The whole fucking JRE Discord is just titties. Ooh, and some real unfortunate... And the image of the dude eating the giant cheeseburger that has been on the internet since, God, fucking... It's been there for a long-ass time. I'll tell you that much. All right. I want to say I saw it in, like, 2006. Maybe earlier than that. Lord have mercy. All right. So today is the greatest day I'll ever know. We're doing a complete rewrite of what to have it. All right, so I should let people know. Yeah. So here's some breaking IRC chat news. It's a complete rewrite today. This is a... I started on this yesterday, and I'm completely rewriting chapter 1.11. As a consequence, if you're in the audience watching, you can't get edit points for a complete edit because I'm going to be rewriting. You'll see why, like when we get into it. It's just like we're at like such a formative state that it just wouldn't be useful. But yeah, just letting people know so that they're not like, why am I not getting points and so forth. They're just not eligible today. Still like qualitative edits like I'm not buying it and so forth, those are good, but later. Storm coming, Stirs grunted. That should have been all. Stirs the Hook wasn't a man who wasted words. Others listened when he spoke if they knew what was good for them. There's not a cloud in the sky, Revel observed. It was indeed a fine day. They rode beneath a naked sky of azure, past blooming blanks that rang with bird song. There was a dew-dappled promise in the air, like harvest morn. But that was all fluff. The day would end in tears. I don't know if you can shove your chin at somebody. Oh, it is hard to do actual writing on stream. I'm gonna see if I can power through it because it'd be very useful to me to like learn this ability. But yeah, something about like all the blinking lights and screens and shit like that, and the studio lights on me and so forth makes it like a little bit more difficult. But it used to be that I could only get writing done at a coffee shop, like out of my house and distracted from everybody. But I eventually like learned, out of necessity, how to do it here in the studio, just not on stream. And I bet if I put some time and effort into it, I could get over it and start to write on stream, which would be helpful for me. Sky of naked autopilot and then of pure cringe autopilot. Um, I think you can get away with it here. It was indeed a fine day. It's a little bit of a counterpoint. Ugh. Nah. Ugh. Ugh. Maybe we'll cut it out in the edit. That was all fluff. Stairs knew the day would end in tears. He could feel the proof. The rewrite's actually going pretty good, Romulus. We're up to page 80 after just 30 fucking days. So going on like 2 pages a day. Only going to take us a year at this rate. I didn't even know Control W was closed tab. So everybody's learning something today. All right, yeah. Uh, he's right. Especially if you want to do like the dew-dappled promise in the air type thing, which is pure jack-offatry. Mm-hmm. Morning to all the fake motherfuckers out here, while the real motherfuckers is getting arrested. Mm. Getting arrested for existing. That's a good album cover. Or a good album title, or a song title at least. I've often felt that way, but it was mostly because I was always doing scandalous shit. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, so in an unrelated fucking thing, Spotify, the new Anchor thing has a category for music and talk, right? And you can monetize stuff without getting DCMA'd on it. Music and talk, essentially, the program that I've been running for like 20 some odd years. So if I just clean out all the positive references to Hitler in a standard episode, which is about half of the content, I'm still left with like an hour of content. I'm just putting it out there. So I'm going to start working on that today. But I think I started thinking of a strategy to essentially start a combat or a content mine where you do different things like on every day of the week, right? Like one day is just taking phone calls, like I do on Friday nights. One day would be like trolling in different Discord voice channels and just recording clips and looking for crazy shit. Another day would be like going around, wandering on the streets, shooting B-roll and interviewing people and stuff like that. So if you do like 3 days of generation and just try to get like X number of hours and so forth, you can wind up with like a really tight hour of podcasts that people might actually like listen to on a regular basis. And you can like play music and have sponsors and shit like that, all while monetizing within their platform. And if it's not live, I'm not gonna get dinged on um, some of the stuff that the other podcast is continually getting dinged on. So we'll uh-huh. I kind of like that, even though it's like a little weird in the structure. Hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Then what? Yeah, I like that. Mm-hmm. Da, 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 da. I can't tell if Duke is capitalized here or not. Yeah. I kind of want to see Stirs try and stab Revel and L. Um, he will at some point. Yeah, I promise you in the narrative. Mm, mhm. No, I don't. I don't like the. Yeah. I see yellow hat. Yellow what? No, it's a tough one. Yeah, like a lot of the names in this are like a little problematic. Um, but that's like a final. Grammatical words like what claim your first attention. I see yellow what. Um, yeah, that absolutely. We can break it up into two words if it's really critical, but it's like it's a final pass type thing. You want to finish the book and just do it all with find and replace. Because we might have to do the same thing with Revel versus Rigel and so forth. Rigel is the one who would get renamed, by the way. Hmm. No, I don't like that. Yeah, we can just do. Okay, give me one sec. Yeah. Whew. 3 weeks ago, but feels like a year. Yeah, it does feel like fucking forever ago we started this whole enterprise. Whew. Elephant. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. In there for the first, I was on vacation. Normal sleep schedules have resumed. Yeah, there's so much rewriting needed on this guy. And this is like a full rewrite of this chapter right here. Well, during rewrites, we don't like focus on commas and stuff like that at all. We just plow through and just try to get the first draft on paper. Then we'll go back and do a re-edit of it. Mm-hmm. God, rewriting is indeed steep both ways, but there's no alternative. Like the book is not. If we want to salvage the book at all, like the rot has to be cut out. Mm-hmm. 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 Cool. No. Mm-hmm. That's not. Mm-hmm. 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 I don't think that that's medically accurate. I'm like, what? Who even cares? Uh, yeah, like at this point, like I'm much more worried about rewriting this chapter than fucking Covito. Yeah. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Any ideas for future books? Um, oh, the only other book on which I'm credited as an editor just came out on Amazon. Oh, what did you get, Romulus? Something about math? Yeah, I have a bunch of ideas for future books in mind, and I'm like writing them one by one. Jesus Christ! Like everything you type is like a non sequitur. There's like no bearing on what's going on. you're just you're like a yellow hat in your drug trance, while everybody else is like, "Yeah, what's going on? What's going on?" And you're like, oh, 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 oh. Ugh. Yeah, definitely rewriting makes me cranky. By the way. Ignore George Washington Pfizer shield. I think it's true. But yeah, congratulations to Bradius right there. I uh, I wonder if I wonder if they're gonna make us get those booster shots or whatever they're. Ugh. Like yeah, workplaces are all like, are we gonna make people get vaccinated or whatever? There, I just want to see some fucking data, but you know, data's slow. COVID's fast. I wonder what's going on with that fucking Delta rate, by the way. Yeah. Mm, 3 days ago, 7 days ago. Let's just go here. Further questions about another leak? Mask guidance. All right, so they got to like a pretty. Oh wow, 213, and then they rose up to like 1,000 new cases a day. Is this fucking nationwide? That's crazy. All right, this is what I needed to know. 2.4. This is what I need. 2 point. Oh wow, the capital region is like 2 million. Albany County is where this is fucking up. Okay. Blah 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 blah. Oh shit! You can just go to. I could get paid $100 to take a second virus shot. That's dope. As of 7/13, you have to get vaccinated or submit to COVID tests. Okay. Yeah, I don't like poured effort onto the ores. That's not good. Mm-hmm. Yes, hello. This guy is drawing. Yeah, we're deep in a rewrite today. Um, how was Are you getting floods in Romania too? I'm seeing like fucking. I guess maybe that was last week where it was just like wiping out Germany and Pakistan and every other place. But I wonder what's happening in the old country there. Mm. Floods were the first sign of the merge. What the document merge for two versions of this? Mm. Yeah, it'd be cool if London flooded. Just fucking wiped the whole city out. Swept it into the ocean at last. The blitz completed. I don't think that's gonna happen. Well, I mean, it'll eventually happen. Give it time. But okay. So structure wise, we do two to develop Yellow Hat's P or Stirs' POV. You know, I live in a chill place where there will never be a flood. Already isolated from Romanian fairs since COVID lockdowns. News travels slow to me. Well, that's an interesting in there. Time moves slow. Onto the R's. Fucking autocorrect is worthless. Make that into. Oh, is it? Ah, this is gonna be a hard week. Let's try to have this chapter finished by Friday. Just need to move out. Already writing and speaking English or a form of it more often than Romanian. Yeah, I mean that's where like everything changes when you can make the journey and get into like the full immersion and find out like how far you really have to go and so forth. Oh, honestly, like between you and me, if you can get there, move to New Zealand instead. It's fucking gorgeous there. Great place to learn English. Beautiful. They got everything. But you're gonna have to marry some New Zealand dude. Sorry. Even then, it's a pain in the ass. Ugh. I was just thinking, like earlier today, like how I'd like to get the fuck out of the country. Although I'm like really looking. Winter is my favorite time in New York. It's just so cold and desolate here. I really like it. Like I remember in the first part of like this year, I would just put on my snow boots and like walk around and drink coffee in like the new fallen snow before each editing session. X-Chan has long proposed that the dimension where we exist and the dimension where all our imaginations exist will merge. Um, some argue that it's only our imagination. Wait, who is X-Chan? Is that supposed to be Chris Chan? Oh, God. Yeah. Like words cannot contain my contempt for this thing. And I say thing not because they are transgender, but because their actions are so reprehensible, I no longer consider them to be a human being. And therefore, the pronoun argument is completely irrelevant. Yeah. Like, I don't care what gender is happening there. If you rape your mother, we should just put you on an island, and there you should remain until you starve or are eaten by somebody else. Yeah, it's just, that's beyond the pale. Like fucking raping some 80-year-old woman with dementia. And I'm not a big fan of putting people to death because I really do think everybody should have a chance. But it should be the like, can you survive on an island with everybody else like you that we've crammed onto there? That's what fucking Australia was supposed to be. The arresting officer was depicted in years-old art. Oh God, you gotta post that up. So it was an officer that he had dealt with before. Oh, so did they finally arrest him? Thank God. Let's see. Arrested. Yeah, okay, so 3 hours ago. Uh, oh, and they used the they pronoun. Arrested after claims of raping their mother and stealing money. The most documented person arrested in Richard. He was at the Regency Inn after an EPO. They took an assessment. Ugh. Many people are hoping this is the end of Chan's unfortunate, disturbing saga, which has been well documented on the internet for over a decade. And then the author of that article is like way too cute to be writing about fucking Chris Chan. Wolf. Quips aside, I hope a long stay in a mental institution is. I don't even think we should waste the money to say that I have no sympathy for that monstrosity. Ugh. Yeah. Anyhow, should just like this is why we need something like the RAPAXORIS to cast these lost souls into and contain them until time itself dies. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I haven't seen that spelling before either. It's a new one on me. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. So that's just like a little foreshadowing for what's happening here. So I'm happy with the dip into Stir's POV in terms of the goals that it does right here. Much, much better than what we had previously. And we get a little insight into what's happening with Stirs. So potentially, now I need to figure out, like structurally, whether we want to pop this into several different chapters, whether we want to do it as a single chapter with like some POV splits in here. Because definitely this is a point where um, potentially we can split this up into pursuer and pursuee. We could do like we could do just a section where they realize that they're on top of them, and then we could break out into like we can show how Rigel and Fish feel about deciding to get off of the river. One way that we could do it there with the structure that we were thinking about previously is we could think about having Fish be smart enough to get off of the river. Like Fish can just be like, hey, I wanted to row further, but let's get off of the river. Flash floods are a thing. We can have the party that's following them be totally ignorant of this. Like Sturris doesn't fucking know that. Yellow Hat might know, but he's like too caned out of his gourd. El Shala and Revel have no idea. And this can be a way that they lose their canoe and are fucking stuck in the RAPAXORIS there. I think like the idea of them getting hit by a flash flood, that is to me is like a little bit more interesting and can explain why they're so slow in their pursuit or whatever. So I mean there are like a few difficult parts of it, but I like that idea of them getting caught in a flood while the other two are venturing on. Probably this chapter needs to be like split up here, and then we go to like one point. So I'd say like next would be yeah, like let's break the second part of this chapter into Fish and Rigel up ahead, starting to venture into the RAPAXORIS, and then we can describe a little bit through their eyes what it's like, and then we can jump to the POV of we can do that, or we could do like a Stirs the Hook POV where we have like this superstitious and one of the powerful tools about developing Stirs as like one of our POV characters there is Stirs is like intensely superstitious. He believes all the old legends about the RAPAXORIS. He's just like a good way that we can develop some of the ominous undertones of this creepy old dungeon. So yeah, I've got a lot to think about on what I want to do with the rest of this chapter right here. We did a bunch of work yesterday off stream in developing this whole thing, and I like where it's going. But I want to think about. I do think that this is a good break point for the thunder rumbling in the distance. Probably could stand another pass or whatever there. But yeah, not going to go too crazy into this because I have to do D&D later tonight, and I've got a bunch of things that I want to work on here. Additionally, the editor is supposed to get back to me today with the Gravid edit. And with the Gravid edit, we will pause editing of RAPAXORIS, as much as I hate to do that there. But we'll probably pause that editing, and I'll just spend probably between 7 and 14 days knocking out the Gravid edit because I have a deadline for it. That needs to be back to the editor for a final round of changes, and I need to get it completed before the 1st of September. So just an FYI, we'll be doing that. What is a Gravid edit? Oh, so if you look on the YouTube channel for this, which is YouTube/C ZagZYZ, or just search ZagZYZ on Twitter, you can see another novel that we edited a while ago, which is a novel about the intersection of depression and telepathy. It's very long. It's like 800 pages. And that has just gone to the editor, and I'm going to do my second pass edits, right? Wait, am I getting published for real? No, that's, that one's not like I don't think that any publisher will ever bite on Gravid. It is too dark, too depressing, too soul-crushing and it's big. It's too large of a novel. And when we went through it, I was like, maybe I can cut about 30% of this novel, but I couldn't. All the things that were in it were things that I wanted to have in it. We've improved the pacing a lot and fixed some of the logistical inconsistencies within it. But it's got to be a brick to do what I wanted to do. What I wanted to write was like a modern day dying inside with a female protagonist and like some explanation of the telepathy mechanic. And I really feel like we nailed it. I feel like it really gets into all the things that I loved about dying inside, and puts like a more modern twist on it. And I think it goes interesting places. But there is just gravid is Gravid. It in English the word means laden with eggs or pregnant, like one way or the other. It usually tends more towards you would talk about a salmon being gravid with caviar or something like that, um, or like a fucking spider gravid with eggs. Even though most of them lay eggs externally. They do like that egg sac thing or whatever. Anyhow, well then they lay. I guess they must generate the egg. Well, anyhow, like it's far afield or whatever. There. So Gravid is a very interesting case of a book that I really wrote without any considerations of can you sell this? Like, do people want to read something that's that long, and so forth. Whereas when we're working with RAPAXORIS, we're writing within the constraints of what is commercially acceptable here. There is a definite market for this kind of fantasy literature. It's adventure. Like this is basically an adventure fantasy. It's meant to be like fast, like a lot of plot, a lot of shit happening. We don't get too deep into like character development or anything like that. It's not about like some moral thing. It's about adventure and treasure. So why not split it in two? Because the story is not it's not in two pieces, right? It's not like this is one thing and then this is a second, right? If you get halfway through the book, you haven't learned what you want to learn, and it really is just building up towards a very, to me, satisfying conclusion within the book. I looked into can this book be split into thirds or seconds or whatever? It cannot, right? Neither piece stands on its own, so it just has to be like this long fucking narrative. Somebody else could probably chop out like half of the words in that book, but I could not, and my editor was not able to either. Brongulus, you still have, yeah, now is a good time to do it. I still have some things. Hold on, have you seen, there's the novel right there. So here's the thing about Zeros. So Zeros just went live. It's live on pre-order, and Zeros is available on something called Book Sirens. And if any of you guys want to read the completed Zeros, all I ask from you is like, please do a review. Turn it into the Lord of Rings while muttering under your breath. No, Gravid is like where it needs to be. Like the life cycle for Gravid is I have one final publisher that I'm going to submit it to, and that publisher will not buy it. Right? I think I have the wrong set of equipment to get bought by that publisher, but I could be wrong. But I'm going to try anyway because I think they would be like a really good home for it. Anyhow, I expect that they will reject it, as so many publishers have before, even though the new edit is significantly better. When they reject it, I will probably start getting it proofread as soon as I submit it, and then I'll start typesetting it, and then I'll try to launch that book without like a lot of fanfare in early 2022. We'll just put it out the same way that we put out Zeros, and this one, I don't need it to be famous. I just want people to be able to read it if they want to, right? Because I don't think it's like a bound for commercial success or anything like that. It's a very peculiar type of story, and it is really like most of the women who have tried to read it so far have gotten like a little bit in, and they're like, "This book is depressing me. I can't read this." So we'll, I'll just fucking put it out there. I don't need to earn a lot of money with it. And like I'll just be happy if like 100 people read it and they're like, "Huh, the fuck," which is exactly what that book would produce right there. So yeah, that's happening there. Bradius, I need to get the Amazon app if I want to read your books. No, like there's an EPUB too. Yeah, so you can read it EPUB or whatever. All I'm asking, like anybody who wants to read Zeros at this point, where you haven't already read it. I just need a review on like Goodreads or Amazon. Ideally both, because you can copy it between the two of them. Zeros is available for pre-order on Amazon right now, and it just went live to potential reviewers through a service called Book Siren, which I have not used before. I'll see what comes with that. But yeah, what did you have on? I hope to God it's not fucking something physics based, right? Because now is like a point where it's very difficult to like fix anything that is wrong. But it would be good, like if it's like a game changer, like stop. The whole book doesn't work. Why do I have merchandise with IRC? I thought I took some. Oh, because like yeah, I'm big on internet relay chat. I have another show that we do every week where I just talk with internet relay chatters, but it's too wild to be associated with like the author profile. We really say some crazy shit on there, and there's like a lot of pranks, and um, the people who like their writing are not going to like the IRC for the most part. Um, you found I asked you to review it for science and math problems, and I found none. Oh shit, yeah, that's fucking fantastic. Shout outs to Lord Rayleigh. I love that one of the chapters of that is just a direct quote from Lord Rayleigh. Whoa, what a fucking G. And like he talks about going through the Rayleigh Taylor instability realm. Yeah, IRC like well, I'm like pretty edge lordy myself when it really comes down to it. This is just the even like my politest face which you see on this. Ooh. Oh, it's not rough. But anyhow, yeah, feel free to like if this is not a good venue, just message me or whatever, Bradius or whatever. I did find a Chinese speaker to run through and critique all the Chinese in it. And he is thanked in the foreword to it. He really did some excellent work. Like there was one point where I was trying to say cunt, but he's like, this is really more like you're saying vagina. And we found like a English letter. Apparently, like just saying the letters OB in English sounds a little bit like evil cunt in Chinese, which I thought was cool. But yeah, like, message me. I'm definitely interested in your feedback with it. And if you want a latest version of the EPUB, if you were involved in the book at all, you're welcome to have the latest version of the EPUB. And you know how we do. All right. But I'm going to go eat some pizza. And tonight on this channel, we will stream session 2 of IRC D&D that starts at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, which is in 12 hours and 25 minutes from now. Yeah, have a great day to everybody. Thank you for your participation. Progress will be slow in the next week because we're going to be rewriting this very pivotal chapter. And honestly, like the chapters that come after it until we finish like book 1. So if I unexpectedly do not stream or whatever, it's because I'm working on Gravid. And Gravid is going to need a lot of time and energy and so forth. But yeah, you know, like we have all the time in the world to finish RAPAXORIS. We're not on a deadline with it. We can take our time and make something really good. So thank you to everybody who tuned in, and have a good week. And it's going to be a good end of the summer. I'm just telling you right now, things are going to improve, and it's going to be a dope fall. And maybe I can get some bites with zeros. As always, if you know somebody who would have me on their podcast to talk about zeros or to talk about fucking anything where I can plug zeros, I will do it. I'm now at a point where I will take any fucking podcast, no matter, it could like literally be some guy doing a podcast with his cell phone in his bathtub. I will take anything at this point. So I'm working on. All right, holler at y'all later. Peace, pump.